Morning. I'm just down here. It's Monday as usual. This is normally where I spend Monday mornings. And for the first time in weeks, it's actually really nice down here. With the old Trev. It's just, I've missed this. I think last Monday I was down here. I think you guys will remember it was an absolute blizzard. Actually, I don't even think I think that was the Monday before. I couldn't even walk down here last Monday. It was that bad. So look at stunning. Getting ready for a week. This is the best way, honestly, to start your week. Grounding, feet in the sand, close to the ocean. This is like my optimal priming for the week when I'm down here. Resetting myself, listening to my podcasts and things that I like to prep myself with. Different self-development content. So it's the best start. Good morning. It's early, of course, just heading off to the gym. I do 3 weight training sessions a week with my trainer, mostly first thing in the morning. The awesome thing about co-parenting under the same roof is I can go to my 6 a.m. sessions, whereas before, when it was Steve somewhere else and us doing 50-50, I'd have to do the morning routine with Peggy, take her to school, then go to the gym. And that really it just didn't work well with my energy. I make it a thing that when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is give back to myself. Whether it be gym, moving my body, walking, whatever it is, because I think even in our industry, or female business owners, female dominated business owners and industries, because I think we wear so many hats, around mothering and, partnering, and there's just such huge responsibilities in life as much as there is in business. Our tendency can be that we give to everyone else first sometimes before we give to ourselves, or there's always something to be done before us, whether it be cleaning up the kitchen or needs to be done before I sit down and rest for the night, or it's that real cycle of self-deprioritization. And I've got to be honest, I don't do well in that way of living. And not to say, sometimes people go, well, I don't want to be selfish. And it's not about selfishness. It's about understanding that in order for you to be the person you want to be the parent you want to be the partner you want to be the leader you want to be, to build the brand you want to build, the service that you want to, bring to the world, you have to give to yourself first to be able to operate at levels that are going to be aligned, levels that are going to be connected, levels that are going to be of a high standard. There's no other option. It doesn't work the other way around, that you do all of the things first and then what you worry about yourself last. Because your psychology has to be nurtured. Your physiology has to be rested. You have to be, feeling your best to be able to, reach those levels that you're looking for in life and in business. So every single morning, my commitment is that I give to myself first, whether it be training, taking Trevor out, getting in the sauna, whatever it is that is filling my cup is what gets done as the first act of the day. And as I said, when Steve was living somewhere else, I was on my own. So, I had to do it all. There are some, not going to lie, there have been some moments lately where I have thought, would it be easier going back to the 50-50? There's definitely been those moments. It's not easy trying to navigate a post-separation relationship under the same roof. I'm trying not to become that person that shoulders, excess levels of responsibility for people. And, I tend to over give like a lot of women, or I tend to rescue too much. That's the wounded masculine in me that wants to fix everything and make it easy for everyone. And, that's my shit. That's my shit that I have to get sorted. And that has, been weighing down on me, particularly in the last week. Trying to make it all work. It's not been easy with Steve's business launch and him transitioning into that space under my roof. Plus me being who I am, Plus, with my level of experience, it is hard not to get involved in some ways. You know, but yeah, you guys are, you know, seeing the full appointment books and the launch strategy and the pricing conversations and the, you know, yeah, it's not all sunshines and lollipops, let me tell you, around that business launch. Just like I said, around the relationship in general has been quite challenging over the last week. But anyway, in I go. It's gym time. It's me time. Let's do it. The worst is over. Leg day yesterday. I fucking hate leg day. I swear. Whoever invented leg day seriously needs to be having a good talking to. So, yeah, it's all uphill in training after leg day. Morning, gang. Just at a local cafe. Just about to meet with sorry, that is not a good angle. Video production team. I just really want to ramp up my content. Looking at another shoot. For those of you that may or may not have seen my socials, I did a huge brand shoot last year. And it was almost like an uprising of my whole identity. And I tend to coincide brand shoots with pivotal moments in my business life and moments of identity stretch, moments of celebration. I'll coincide that by creating kind of a picture, videos, representation of me at that time, just to really anchor it in. So yeah, got another shoot in the works. It's going to be epic. So I'm meeting with a videographer today just to get professional BTS behind the scenes done. I met with my stylist the other day. We're scouting locations. One of the locations that we've scouted is like next level shit. And there's going to be a dual reason for grabbing that location too, which I can't tell you about right now. But yeah, we'll be doing a brand shoot and some promotional material for another offer that I'm going to have coming out. It's going to be just crazy. So really excited. What up, vlog? I am just getting into Noosa. I am just driven here, obviously, from the GC. Got a mastermind here for the next 4 days. I've got a it's kind of wealth/business mastermind. It's a new business launch. The company that used to own K2, which is where I used to coach with Kerwin, has been bought by a finance guy named Paul. And Paul's relaunched the business, and this is their launch weekend. So I've come up, one of my really good mates, who is the CEO of K2, Marie, is the head of community here for this program. So very proud to say I was the #1 ticket holder. I was the first ticket purchase, as Marie would say, #1 ticket holder. Because yeah, I was super excited when Marie obviously got the acquisition across to Paul, and then Paul's launched something that sounds pretty good. I'm not so much here for the business coaching side of things because I've got 1,000,001 coaches for that side, but definitely the wealth creation element for me is incredibly important. Even like this morning, I reconnected with my investment coach that I had a little while ago. We initially hired an investment coach. The idea was that when Steve and I were together, that Steve was going to just learn how to create passive income from investments. And, you know, he kind of went through the program and it kind of wasn't his thing. And we disengaged from the program because Steve decided that it just wasn't his vibe, and that's totally fine. But we still had some contract left. So I've actually decided to pick up the contract again, where we left off, and continue working with the coach just around my personal investments. So what the investment coach does is just teaches you how to think about investment. Doesn't tell you what to invest in, but it's learning the thinking. You know, I'm always saying to you guys, hire people to help you think. Like, hire people to teach you how to think about business, how to think about life, how to think about, you know, your life in different ways. And that's what I do all the time. I'm constantly hiring people to help me how to think. And the investment side of things is something that is really important to me. My hope is, you know, probably within the next 10 years that I could be financially free of passive income, that I've invested in a way that has allowed me to choose to work or not, basically. So I don't think I'd ever not work, but having the choice there would be nice. I always, you know, ask myself, what would I be doing if money wasn't an object? I always ask myself that question. Sometimes it's nothing different. Most of the time it's nothing different. Other times I'm just like, oh, I wonder what I would be doing. What my day look like. I don't think I could not be doing business in some way, shape or form. Even just launching Green Clean, like helping Steve, I was just so alive during that process. And even to the point where I'm like, should I create some short courses around this? Because I've just found it so easy just to launch his lawn mowing business and get his books filled. I'm like, I'm sure people struggle with this. I don't know. It seemed so friggin' easy to me. You know, but I'm sure it's not easy to everybody. Yeah, so I think I would always be doing business in some way, shape or form. Even just understanding better the stock market, my investments, and, you know, playing around with money. And imagine waking up every day and having nothing in your schedule and all you need to do is, you know, invest in your own education and play around with money. Like, what a dream. I'd love that. So yeah, so I'm on my way. I'm nearly there, actually. It's going to be a cool weekend. Lots of people that were part of the old coaching program I get to catch up and connect with, which is super cool. Lots of really awesome business owners from all walks of life, not just from coaching, but there's plumbers and electricians and bloody, you know, plasterers and all kinds of business people. So that's nice too, just to get out of the industry that I'm in for a hot minute, talk to people about life, you know, in other businesses. So super cool. And as always, love investing in my personal development. Could do this forever. Love learning new things. So there we go. So I've just arrived at Noosa at the hotel. And in true Chrissy fashion, my accommodation's booked from tomorrow night, not tonight. I was meant to book my own accommodation. Mate, do not leave me in charge of my own personal administration. So they're just trying to find me a room. They said, would you like a champagne and a seat? I said, am I available? Thank you very much. I'm just waiting to see whether they've got a room. Did get a room, thank goodness. She's a little bit fancy. It's very nice. Here I am. Hello. Yes, nice. I could live in here for the next few days child-free. Hey? Loving it. Had a sleep-in baby in a hotel room with no kids. Oh God, what's my life become? I wanted to give you guys an update because I forgot, but guess what? Ta-da! Ta-da! On my way here, I popped in past the Meriton Suites in Brisbane because the lovely guy, the manager, ended up calling me back. This is actually a little bit funny, but as I said in my last vlog, I left my makeup bag behind in the hotel last week and everything was fine until I realised that my fucking Hermès bracelet was in the makeup bag. So then I went into a panic because I'm like, far out, I don't mind losing a couple of makeup bits. I can replace all of that, but I can't really replace my Hermès bracelet that I bought in Paris because it was the sentimental value and the experience as much as it was about the cost of it, you know. So then I'm madly calling them all day and the front of house are just not getting it. They're like, yeah, we've put the request through. I'm like, you need to find it. Anyway, I get this hotel manager that calls me at about 3:30. He's like, hello, campers. Hello, just calling you back. I can see you've called a few times. I'm like, listen, I've left my makeup bag there. The problem is there's an expensive bracelet in there. It's Hermès. He's like, oh my goodness, let me get back to you. Hold on a minute, girl. I'm going to track this down for you. It's like, as soon as I said Hermès bracelet, this spirit animal knew exactly what I was referring to. He was just like, let me get this sorted. He rings me back in like 15 minutes and he goes, Chrissy, I've found the makeup bag. The bracelet is inside. I'm putting it in the safe now. When can you come collect it? And then yesterday when I drove through and the front of house is there and I'm like, oh, I think it's in the safe. And then they've gone into the safe. He comes out. He goes, girl, I knew exactly what you were going through. I've got the same bracelet in grey and I'm just so happy that we were able to find it for you. And I'm like, you're amazing. Thank you. I'm glad I found my, you know, that someone knew the value, obviously, of and the importance of finding that. It was like he just got it straight away. So yeah, got it back. Yay. Just doing the groundwork going into the session today. There was a huge document that you needed to fill out just on your net worth, what else is bloody in there? Net worth. Like your psychology around money, mine was really good. Your economics, your sophistication and your execution. And some of it was just assessing like what taxation, structures, insurances, risk protection, investment, knowledge and understanding just basically all the different money structures that you've got set up. Things that I probably need to look at are definitely structures, definitely estate planning. So stuff like wills, and I'm really well insured because I've made sure that I'm really well insured because I'm the breadwinner in my family. So, you know, if something happened to me, my family, it would be in a very bad way. So I'm very well insured, but I need more knowledge around long-term investment, which I've just recently reconnected with my investment coach. So I'm going to get all of that sorted. I've got an investment budget that I have to spend every year. So I've made some investments this year. I've decided this year that I'm done with investing in property. I've got enough property and I need to diversify my portfolio, my investment portfolio. So really important sitting down with my investment coach and just understanding, for me, it's probably longer term investments as opposed to short term, high risk, high reward type strategies. So I've learned a little bit about the stock market this year. I've made some investments in stocks, but I still feel like I'm a bit of a baby investor. Like I don't really know sort of in-depth understanding. So she's going to help me a lot with that. There might be some people today that I definitely need help around my estate. As far as if I died, this would be a mess because I haven't got all the wills and the structures and the, you know, bits and pieces in place. And I feel like that is the situation for a lot of people. When you're in business, it's so friggin' important that you have that stuff sorted out, not just insurance, particularly if your money is a big contributor to the household, or even hubby's money. Like, is he properly insured? You know, but also what happens when you die? How does it all get divvied up? And, you know, I've had some experiences where I've had friends in situations, you know, over the last 12 months where it's literally been catastrophic. There's been a death in the family and it's just been such a mess in the aftermath. I've had 2 good friends have to go through that this year, and just, yeah, the overwhelm and if the people that had died had just got their shit sorted, I don't think you realise how much mess that you actually leave behind if you don't have all of this stuff set up and sorted. Also, that you kind of want things to go the way that you would like them to go when you transition to the afterlife. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want money going to fucking your mum and dad if they haven't done anything for you. You know what I mean? But that can be the situation. Some people can take money and maybe you didn't want them to, and, you know, so all the more reason to just get it all sorted. So I'm bloody excited for today. I love this shit. Like, I love figuring out how to make money, how to invest properly, how to really structure things so that, you know, my goal really is, I think I already mentioned it to you guys, that by 50, I want to have most of my income replaced by passive investment, and by sort of 54, 55, that, you know, it's really a choice to work. I ain't doing the 65 retirement thing. Like I said, I don't think I'd not work, but just the choice to really just do what I want to do. And hopefully it's actually sooner than that. I'd love to completely be financially free by 50, which is only 6 years away. But a lot can happen in 6 years. I remember myself 6 years ago. Fuck me, I didn't have 2 bobs to rub together. Look at me now. So a lot can happen in 6 years. So I look at 50 and go, whoa, like, could I really be financially free then? Like, that almost sounds like a bit of a stretch. But then I look at myself 6 years and I go, fucking, I was nearly bankrupt back then. So it's like, anything can happen.
Since I'm 16 and I'm 47, I'm married to my wife, who's my high school sweetheart for 29 years.
Good morning. It's the last day today. Of the mastermind. It's been a lot. A lot. Some of the, it's been great. Like, obviously just getting all my numbers in order, lots of financial clarity around the end number as far as financial freedom, what that looks like, you know, from an estimation. And then obviously the game is reverse engineering all of that and you know, getting your business to pretty much be a cash machine for creating more income that can financially sustain you after the business. You know, that's pretty much what you want to be doing in life when you've got a business. Well, that's my philosophy on it anyway. So yeah, lots of clarity around the numbers. But yesterday, you know, people are really fucking smart, like, in this world. And they had a whole heap of, I'm still using this is all I've got for my serums, a fucking primer. My skin's really starting to feel it. Can't believe I've been without serums for like 3 days. Seriously. What was I saying? Oh, people are really smart. Yesterday they had some, it was kind of like meet all the different people in different areas of investing, and these guys are like the top of their game. So There were 3 kind of speakers on yesterday. That one was specialised in like property, like, fuck, I can't even tell you it was that fucking sophisticated. But I felt like at stages I needed an interpreter to understand the words and the language and what they were even saying. Like, you know, when you're not in these finance investment circles, sometimes it feels like they're just speaking another fucking language. like, you know, I'm not a dum-dum as far as I understand, you know, the basics, but fuck me, I did feel like I needed a financial interpreter or a thesaurus yesterday to understand some of what they were bloody talking about, you know, and I have felt that at some stages of this, and it has been uncomfortable. Like, I feel like a lot of people just avoid this type of work, and you know what I mean, because they don't want to feel dumb, or they don't want to, you know, feel like they're out of their depth or whatever. But I'm a bit the opposite. Like, if I'm not feeling out of my depth, or I'm not feeling like I'm the dumbest person in the room, then I'm not in the right room, mate. Like, and I'm so okay to do that. And I feel like people definitely use that as a negative. Like, I've been in, you know, we run 3 events a year and we create rooms that obviously probably make or trigger people to feel not enough, or whatever the situation that goes on for you, and you're exposed to content that's new and different and challenges you, and you might not understand every facet of what somebody's talking about. It is uncomfortable. It definitely is uncomfortable. But, like, do you really want to be the smartest person in the room? I fucking don't. And in fact, I would find that a hell of a lot more frustrating, sitting there thinking, come on, man, let someone say something to excite me or confuse me or stimulate me in a certain way. And I've definitely felt that. Even though sometimes I feel like I need an interpreter to understand what it is that they're saying, you know. And the other thing is that I think is really important as well, it's more important to me to be financially secure than to understand every little thing that's been put in front of my face. Like, I'm okay with not understanding everything, because I think it's a little bit of a unrealistic expectation to think that, you know, this is not my world. Like, investment, even that's a bit of a limiting belief. I wouldn't say it's not my world, but it's not a world that I'm used to, right? But how do you understand more if you just don't get in there and start to expose yourself to the information? Like, it's part of the learning process. You know, I talk to salon and clinic owners all the time that literally just want to keep their head in the sand. Oh, I don't know my numbers, I'm not sure. Oh, you know, well, they see the numbers and then they want to run away, and it's like, gotta start somewhere, man. Like, yeah. So definitely out of my comfort zone, definitely needed an interpreter yesterday. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with feeling like I'm not the smartest person in the room. And in fact, give me that any day over being the smartest person in the room. Because I'd rather be challenged and feeling out of my depth than sitting there thinking, oh, this is boring. Yeah, cool. Tell me something I don't know. So that's where we're at. Let's go and make some money. Ready to go.
Economics. In college, I started with an economic major, and I quit after the second, third course. It's all vague in theory, and economists disagreed looking at the...
Good morning, gang. It's the end of the conference. Got to head back. Got a big drive back. And yeah, feeling excited, feeling a lot of clarity. Somewhat like I've been put through a washing machine. Numbers, like, I feel like just anytime you're working with numbers and strategy and all of those things, your brain just, mine goes to mush anyway. It's not my natural habitat. But also not my natural habitat, but I've really learned to love and get a lot of clarity from numbers. You know, I was like a lot of, you know, business owners where it was just like, people would start talking numbers and my eyes would glaze over. Just, you know, yeah. So very, very different relationship with that now, but still it's a bit of a brain exercise for me to continue to absorb and understand and all of those things. So heading home now, can't wait to see little Pickles. Haven't seen her obviously all weekend, and excited to game plan this whole thing out and do good things.